welcome back to the Stahls UK YouTube channel. We're back with another Artworking for Heat Transfers episode with artwork expert Dane Clement from Stahls. In the last episode, Dane went over the difference between vector and raster files so that you know which file type you should be using for your transfers. And today, Dane is going to be covering how to successfully set up your raster file in Photoshop so that you can have heat transfer ready artwork every single time.
So let's set up a proper raster file. So here in Photoshop, I'm going to go to File menu, New. In this dialog box here, this is where everything needs to be plugged in correctly, right? So if you look over here on the right-hand side of this panel, I'm set to inches. You can set to centimeters, millimeters, whatever you might want. But the way we do it, the way we've been doing it for years, is we're going to set our file at 14 inches by 14 inches. And this is the most important part right here. Resolution needs to be 300 pixels per inch. That is going to give us a high resolution file. So there's going to be no soft, chunky, weak looking artwork. You won't see any stair-steppy edges and that sort of thing, right? It's just going to create a proper file for us that what we can do is we can go ahead and do anything or print anything we want, any kind of transfers, you name it, we're good. My color mode, I always work in RGB color. And the reason I do, a couple of reasons. One is it's the best looking that my artwork will ever look from my computer screen. I know I can't print all the colors that are capable of viewing in RGB, but I'm okay with that because we'll set a color profile that gives me or constrains my RGB anyway, at least to send it for the transfers, right? So I like to use RGB color because the RIP software for all the printers out there are going to take a PNG file, which is an RGB file, and it will look at that artwork or color data and interpolate it to properly manage the color on your CMYK DTF printer that we use for the transfers, right? So you can get an accurate representation of your color doing it that way. Always create your artwork on a transparent background, because if you don't, then you have to figure out a way to remove the art from the background. So it's always best create the artwork from the beginning this way. It just saves a lot of extra work. And normally I like to use Adobe RGB 1998 as my color profile here. Let me just show you this advanced tab. If you don't see it, like if it's just something like that, you want to go ahead and open it up. And right here, if you use sRGB, that will most closely match what we can give you in the UltraColor Max transfers, right? So when you create your artwork to have transfers printed, use sRGB. And when I hit create, I will see this window here of these gray and white checkers. That means that we're ready to go for a high resolution file. We create our artwork and we can print any transfer we want.
And just like that, you have your file set up and ready for your transfer artwork. Thanks to Dane for another super helpful artworking video. If your next step is to order your custom heat transfers, then head online to custom.stahls.co.uk where you can order the world's #1 custom heat transfers with the UK's quickest turnaround time. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe for our next episode in this Artwork for Heat Transfers series.